Hello,
Hello,
I'm Will.
I'm Nick.
Welcome to
Behind the curtains.
which is it Kurt? It's just Kurt.
Behind the curtain.
Better than Just Freaks
Better
podcast.
than Just Freaks by so much.
by
Because we're so much better.
See, what bothered me the most about that podcast was that they said that they're the funniest people in the world.
Which is wrong because we are, in
It's
fact,
clearly
the
us.
funniest
It's
people
clearly us
in the world.
Yeah, and also we're so much better that we have professional podcast equipment.
Yes, we do.
Not to flex,
That's
but
why we
I'm
sound
gonna
so
flex.
crisp.
Yeah, crisp, smooth.
Squelch.
We can whisper into the mic and it'll pick it up crystal clear.
Wow. Grace and Riley could never.
They could never. Anyway, we don't know what we're gonna talk about.
No, we do not. We went to see James and the Giant Peach at St. Mary's Riken High School last
we
night.
did, and we brought on a special guest.
Yes, we
Already
did.
up in Grace and Riley's Just Freaks.
Exactly.
We have a guest.
We have a guest. It's Terrence Bartlebaugh. Thank you, thank you. Please hold your applause, please.
Wait, I can. That was so loud, my ears
Wow.
are dead. They're
That's
ringing.
crazy. Okay. Terry used to go to St. Mary's Riken. He transferred this year for his senior year because the theater program is not all that.
As
Terry.
we learned last night.
That is correct.
Why'd you shorten it for him?
Yeah, wait, why did
Well,
you do that?
Because he's short, so.
But like, we should.
Terry,
actually-
shut up. Terry, shut up.
Fine, there you go, Terry. Is that better for you? Is that
Yes.
better? Nick, do you approve? Nick, do you approve?
I approve of everything you do. So, Terry, shed some insight. What's going on behind their curtains?
Not a lot.
Is it true that they don't have a backstage? Like, they just have a basement?
Yes.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that in I think the first scene there was someone who I saw like waiting for their entrance and they were like right right next to like I could see them from
No,
the
they were
audience.
practically on stage.
Yeah, no.
Like, it was
the wings
bad.
were probably like 4 feet wide.
wings.
Yeah, that makes
There's a staircase, and
Yeah,
y-
okay.
you can see them on the staircase or on stage, and people like to stand on stage.
That's wild. Anderson could never.
Anderson could never.
Anderson could never. So we all do theater.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Some of us better than others.
Oh, Terry. What? Got you.
Clearly, I'm the best actor out of the three of us.
Obviously.
Obviously,
That's why
have
you
the-
got that full ride to UMD.
yeah. That's why I was Ben in Rags, and I was all of them, but I needed to be. I got casted as literally every male character.
Yeah, but then we had
But-
to nerf him.
Yeah, I was just too good.
Once and for all.
Anderson said, "You know what? No, Will, you're too good for this. I gotta put you in the ensemble."
Yeah.
Yeah. We're so funny.
Okay, Rags. Let's talk about Rags.
You gotta talk into your
Let's
mic
talk
some
about
more.
Rags. Hey.
Rags. We live in
We're
rags.
And so,
Right
anyway,
in
Terry,
Terry's not on the podcast. Terry's only
you're
on
right.
the podcast
Yeah,
to talk
screw
about
you,
James
Terry.
the Giant Peach.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, Will.
Yeah.
How do you think we had our little talk back for theater last night? How
Yep.
do you feel about the issue of freshmen not feeling so invited?
I would agree with everything that they said. I think this is just something that, like, personally I experienced too, because I'm relatively new to theater. I would
Right.
say this was my first full year
Right, you came
doing
for the
it. I
musical
came,
last year.
yeah, but very late into the musical.
right.
So, I think had I come like a week later, I wouldn't have been able to be in the show.
Yeah.
So, I think it's just they didn't sense that there was really an opportunity for them to kind of grow and develop,
Mhm.
and so it to them would have been a quote unquote waste of time.
Right.
And I think that's something that like I'm going to strive to like make sure. That's like my goal next year because I'm not great with tech,
Right.
but especially with the
I mean,
drill.
wrong.
Like I know how to use a drill. Can't do it well, but I know how to use it. And I know how to cut kind of well.
You cut greatly.
Better than no. Yeah. So I think like my goal next year is like cuz obviously this year I would try to work with like Terry, you or Austin.
Right. Right.
And I loved doing that,
Mhm.
but at the same time, that took a chance for a freshman to really step up and to learn. And I don't really think we have a lot of. Do we have? We have, might have two freshmen that are we're in sets.
We have Wyatt and we have
Oh, three. Wyatt, Juliet,
sort of Liz. She does like every other.
Liz
thing.
does everything.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, true.
two things.
I think she's also interested in lights and sound though.
Yeah.
Um.
So I think like my goal for next year is just gonna be like take a freshman, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't want to say under my wing because,
Right.
but like try to help
I
them.
sort of tried to do that this year, but I didn't. Anderson talked last night about like a buddy system sort of thing, where a senior would take a freshman under their wing, or at least an upperclassman would take an underclassman under their wing, and they would like each pick one. I wouldn't do that, but I did try to get underclassmen on my project. It really irritates me, the hypocrisy. I feel like I saw a lot of like upperclassmen being like, "Dang, why aren't the freshmen here? You know, they should be here
But,
every day." But
yeah,
then when they showed
up, there was
You're like,
nothing for them to do.
"God, why do you suck?"
And I think like
Oh my god.
for me last year, that was something that happened a lot where like there were days, especially when we got closer to opening night. As we got closer to opening night, I would like I didn't really know what to do because I didn't know what the set was supposed to look like, and I was literally like 5 weeks in at most to being in theater. So I would go around and I would ask people like, "Hey, is there something I can do to help?" Because I knew stuff had to get done, but I didn't know what stuff needed to get done,
Right.
and no one was like, "No, I'm good. I don't need help. I don't
Yeah,
need
right.
help." And I probably then should have just went and like sort screws or just sat there and like forced someone to let me help them. But instead, I went in the black box for like 5 minutes, just like yeah. And Anderson walked in and he was like, you're always working. You always have to be working."
Yeah, I had that problem freshman year a lot. I feel like a lot freshman year. That group of me and Austin and Jonah at the time, whoever else, whatever other
Ford?
freshmen, Ford, yeah, whatever other freshmen that were in hard tech at the time, kind of were just like wandering the entire time and getting told, "No, we don't need you," and we like didn't ever have a job, and so we would hang out in the black box whenever there was like no job for us. We really didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
Kind of sucks.
I think like even if I don't like next year, let's say I'm leading a project and let's say that project is like I have to make like small like steps that I had to do for this. Um I would the way I would do it now knowing that that's an issue is I would have a freshman in in the shop getting me wood and measuring me wood. I'd have two people outstage assembling them and I would be like the designated cutter.
Mm.
And I think that's great because like I feel like I'm pretty good at cutting and I'm not so great with a drill. Like I can drill, but I'm not great at it. So I
Right.
feel like getting a freshman or a sophomore or any underclassman or any new person in theater like that can use a drill better than me and then I can cut for them. I feel like that's a good system. And we talked about that a lot yesterday about like finding someone with your strength, like with Aowen and Caleb. Like
Right. Yeah.
Aowen was, I don't know, great.
Good at seeing the set, like picturing it,
Yeah.
and knowing how it should go together.
Wasn't as great with the numbers. Caleb, great with the numbers and the exact precise measurements and all that stuff. So I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I assume Aowen is like the leader or head of hard tech.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'd assume that's who it's going to be. But I feel like if every senior going into the tech day could this is something Anderson was talking about yesterday, could figure out the group they're going to work with and what they're going to work on before we got to tech, so we don't have to spend that first half an hour discussing what we're going to do,
Right.
because then we get 2 hours to work, dinner, and then, I feel like that would save a lot of time and
Yeah,
it'd be more
definitely
productive.
would.
And then we could also work on it at lunch a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's another resource that we have here that I'm not sure a lot of schools have, is like we have a full hour of lunch that we could just spend working on it.
Right. Yeah.
And I have no room to talk. I don't tech at lunch, but like there's no reason I couldn't, or there's no reason. I mean, some days there are.
Well, you're probably one of the better with that. I tech most days at lunch, or I did previously, and you're really the only one that would come in to help me. I mean,
We would just deck. We would work on the decking.
right.
And part of the reason we had to do that was because we were so behind on it, but it was so important. Like, but it was such a complicated process because somewhere along the line it like one board was just slightly off and
Right,
it threw
and we-
everything off.
those we needed to leave 1 inch
Gaps.
in between each row of plywood on the decking for set pieces to move on tracks with pins, which complicated it so much because you would need to line them up really exactly and have them to the edge exactly, flush exactly, so that you would have that 1 inch gap all the way through, and that it wouldn't and that there wouldn't be like little edges that the stuff would get caught on the pins, which God, that just made everything so much worse.
Let's go to our ad break, which for today will be the Eye of the Storm Manifesto because we don't have ads. So Nick, would you like to read the Eye of the Storm Manifesto?
Sure, I will. Theater is science. Theater is technology. Theater is engineering. Theater is mathematics. Theater is history. Theater is business. Theater is physical education. Theater is economics. Theater is literacy. Theater is taught at Huntingtown High School not because you are expected to major in theater in college, not because you are expected to perform all through life, not so you can relax, not so you can have fun, but so you will recognize the interconnectedness of everything. So you will be comfortable working outside your comfort zone. So you will live in the question and not the answer. So you will experience the creative power of the group. So you will develop an innovative problem-solving attitude. So you will better know yourself. So you will possess more empathy, courage, compassion, determination, good. So you can make your life a work of art. That is why theater is taught at Huntingtown High School. Yeah, I have that memorized.
Join Eye of the Storm Productions
Join Eye of
today
the Storm
at
Productions.
EOTSP in the
Today
Black
at
Box
EOTSP
after school.
In the black box after school. Not today, because
Great job, Nick. That was beautiful. See, we're already so much better than Just
Hey,
Freaks.
man.
Like, we have our own ad break and
yeah,
everything. What
literally.
do they have,
We have
you
people
know?
who want to place ads in our podcast.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we're gonna use this ad break to segue to the next topic, which is still theater.
Which is still theater.
But it's
Behind the
so
curtain.
yesterday, and it's still talking about the meeting from yesterday. But Anderson asked our teacher. His name is Mr. Anderson.
Oh yeah, director. I
Yeah, our
forgot to
director.
mention that.
He asked us. He took a poll, and he was like, "Raise your hand if you are in theater because you love and appreciate the art side of it,
Oh yeah, this was an interesting
And-
poll actually.
and raise your hand if you're in it because you love and respect the social side of it."
Mm-hmm.
That really got me thinking. So I want to ask you, Nick,
Uh-huh.
what made you want to join theater, and like, what's your position on that? If you can give me like a percentage point, like 50-50, 60-30, whatever, 60-40, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, if it's changed at all.
So I joined theater because I was bad at sports.
We're just like each other.
Oh my goodness. No. Well, sort of. I didn't have anything to do. All my friends did theater. My dad did theater. And like directed sort of at. He was a teacher. At high schools he had been an English teacher at. One time, actually, this is kind of funny story. So he taught in like Southeast DC, and so he made a musical that was like based on the plot of West Side Story, but it was Southeast Side Story because it was the Southeast side of DC.
That's kind of funny.
And he wrote like all new music and dialogue and everything, but stole the plot. Anyway, because they, I guess, couldn't get the money to get rights for any real musical at that school. Anyway, I don't know. But so we have that script like at my house, and I've looked over it. I don't know. Theater, it's definitely more the art now. I would say when I joined, it was probably maybe 60-40 for social or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really I was really interested in theater, but I wasn't like doing it to act or to write or to, you know, I was more doing it for like the social aspect.
Yeah, And I think you can definitely still be heavily involved in our program
Mhm.
and be there for the social aspect. And I
for
think you
sure.
could be heavily involved in our program and only want to be there for the theatrical aspect
I
of
mean,
it too.
yeah, and you see people like Emily raise her hand,
Yeah.
for favoring the social aspect over the theatrical aspect, which I didn't expect, but which is just a good yeah, even if you are just doing it mostly for the social aspect, you can still get leads, you can still be a major part of it, you can still do all that. It's just kind of interesting to see.
I think like for me, um, I had no interest in like art whatsoever. Like,
What would you say it was when you joined them?
oh, it was 100% social. I just needed something to do, and I liked doing improv in the class.
Mhm.
So when literally what happened was like a group of like 5 or 6 people after class one day surrounded me, and they were like, "Will, you should come to after school theater." And it was a Friday,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Well, I'm not doing it today. Like, I don't want to stay here till 7. I hate this place."
Right.
You know.
Naturally.
And then that Monday, I told Anderson, "Would it be okay if I just showed up for this week to try it out?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." Not with
Mhm.
that voice though. So I did it.
That's Anderson's voice.
That is his, no, yeah. So I did it, and still here.
Yay.
But it's
do you-
definitely shifted because it started out 100% like social. I was never an arts fan or an arts kid. Like I
Yeah,
would
right.
listen to music, and that is the extent of it.
Uh-huh. What would you say it is now?
I would say it's still much more.
Of course.
I don't want to say much more. It's probably 60-40 in favor of social. It might
Okay.
be 65-35 because
Mm.
I've like grown because being our program is pretty much all okay, it's not we us students, we do the work,
Yeah.
and he directs us and makes sure that he makes sure no one dies. That's literally like his motto, nobody dies. But it's all he'll tell everyone it's student run. And I think because it's student run, it's given me a chance to say to walk on stage and like even if it's like the decking, like hey, I put this here, like
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm dancing.
yeah,
on
it is.
what something I built,
It is like a thing of pride for sure.
and the fact that people are willing to come and pay to see not only the show that like I'm a part of and I'm in, but like stuff that I helped build or
Right.
stuff that I painted, which I didn't even didn't paint all this. Well, no, that wasn't me. It was not me.
Okay.
No, but like
No, yeah.
that's definitely shifted it because now I can take some pride.
Yeah.
I feel like Terry's very bored just watching us. Terry, you want to come back on?
Yeah, Terry, what was it when you why did you join theater? Did you join in middle school or were you in the
My
Huntington Elementary School shows?
no, I wasn't. The first show I did was in middle school,
Okay.
and I started theater very much just for the social aspect because my
Mhm.
brother and sister both did theater, and I was like, I'm not gonna fall down this trap. And then very quickly it became,
You fell
oh, I
down
want to
that
be, I
trap.
want to be good at this. I don't want to be make bad.
Yeah, make that.
theater.
Yeah.
And then I still make bad theater.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's
It's moral of the story.
Moral of the story. Yeah, like, no, but like it's helped me grow not only just as a person, but like I stepped outside my comfort zone too.
Mhm.
Cause like I was always a sports kid, still am.
Yeah, right.
Like, but now I like appreciate art a little bit more than I did, and I don't like fully necessarily like love it, but I love the social aspect of it.
Yeah, right.
Like I love going to tech and being able to talk to
Yeah,
like you.
It's
or
really
Terry
nice.
Or yeah, because it's given me friends and it's given me something to look forward to and something to do. And I'm not the best at it, but I can also get better at this skill like drilling and woodwork and stuff.
It really kind of makes me sad that like not sad, but like to think that if we didn't do theater, we would just go to school every single day at like 2 and just go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy. to
Some days I'm like, can I just go home?
Some
please?"
days I am, but most days I'm like, thank God. Like I don't want to go home every day at 2 and just like
There is nothing that my favorite part about theater is a 9 is a 7-hour tech day.
It's nice. A 12-hour tech day.
12 hours is too much for me. But a 7-hour tech day, I love it.
Oh my God, Terry, when we were cranking out equivocations, that was crazy. We had what did we have? We just had one 12-hour, right? Yeah. That was fun though, honestly.
Kinda.
I had a good time.
It was fun, but like by the end of it, I was.
Oh yeah, no,
we
it
had
was
two 12
exhausting.
hours.
Did we? Yeah.
No, it was a 7-hour. It was the
Yeah,
first
okay.
7-hour
So
one.
it was a 12-hour and like a 7-hour or something. But either way, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was like exhausting, and by the end, I was like delirious. But it was so much fun, just like cranking out.
Well, it was fun at the end. We were all like started to paint the stage, and even Mr. Anderson got down. And
Yeah,
we were all,
well-
and that was fun to have like that
But
talk.
we only got there because we'd been working so hard. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we had been cranking out boards and whatever we needed to do, and then we all got like whatever came together to paint. And I don't know. It was just nice. It's just like I don't know. It's such an experience.
I think it's really cool when you can like do something that's fun, but the reason it's fun is because you get to do it with the people around you.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that like just in life in general, a lot of people don't get to experience, you know? Because there are a lot of kids who play football, and the only reason they play football is because their parents want them to, you know, or it's what they wanted to do, but then they realize they don't like it and now they're stuck in it. Or there are a lot of kids that like just they buy into like stereotypes and stuff. So like I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like they'll buy into a stereotype and they'll immediately like close the door on something
Yeah. No.
without like, because that was me with theater. You know, I was like, I don't want to do theater. Like that's just not who I am.
Yeah. No. I see. It was kind of sad at the like 8th grader expo or whatever, where they come and they see the stands. We had a stand for Eye of the Storm, and we were in for some god awful reason. We were in the same room as like all the sports, and so you would see like people who obviously have made like a certain sport their life. You would see like football guys or like cheerleader people, girls, whatever. And they would go to their stand and they would like sort of like look at us, and some of them would like a lot of them would be like, ew, theater. But then
Yeah.
some of them would be like, oh, theater. And then they would be like ushered away by their parents or by their friends. And it was like,
And I don't get that.
I don't get that either. Like, why?
Because, like, we have fun. And, like, we learn a lot. And it's, like, in anything you do, you're going to learn. There's a life lesson in anything. Like,
Right.
this podcast can be a life lesson,
Sure.
you know?
I don't know what it would be.
No, yeah. Well, that's what we learn later in life, I guess. But, like, there are a lot of life lessons that you can learn in theater, especially in our company. And there's a lot of opportunity.
Mm.
And I like acting.
Mm.
I don't like dancing, can't sing, but I love to act.
I hate dancing.
Not great at it. I'm not great at it, but, like, I still love it. You know, it's so much fun. So that's something that I didn't know I would enjoy until I tried it. So you get you have to take a fine arts class. Try theater.
Yeah, honestly.
Like Theater 1 is one of the most enjoyable classes.
It's so fun. I wish I could go back to Theater
And-
1 sometime.
And even if you just don't necessarily want to do like theater after school, because I get it, it's a lot of work. It's a time commitment.
yeah,
But
for
if you
sure.
just like want to like do improv, you know, there's an improv club. If you want to just learn how to act a little bit, take Theater 1, take Theater 2.
Yeah.
Because you can still be a part of something cool.
Yeah, I really like where improv is going actually, because improv is like half of it is people who aren't in Eye of the Storm, who aren't in the classes, whatever, and
And they're
just like
good
there.
at it too.
Yeah, and they're
Like-
good at it.
Like Derek he's funny, you know.
Yeah, right. He's funny, and I think he enjoys it a lot.
Yeah.
And he just comes and he does that, and he doesn't do anything for the company or anything.
And it's never
good.
too
That's
late.
fine.
It's never too late to join.
Yeah.
You know.
It's I don't know. It's nice because the way I remember it, and I could totally be wrong, but in years past, the improv club has been more people in the classes do it than people outside of. And I really like the shift and where it's going.
I think we have 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I think it's 30.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening. If you've listened,
Yeah.
welcome.
If you haven't,
If you haven't, then we'll
how-
find you.
yeah,
You better not be listening to Just Freaks.
better not. Don't give them any listens.
I'm Will.
I'm Nick.
This has been Behind the Curtain.
Behind the curtain.
and
Singular.
we'll see you.
Next time.
Yeah.
Woo!